You know you bring me sadness midnight. Midnight sun. You wanna give me all at midnight. With no warning, while I ate an apple today, I realized I'm not a child, and that's the way it stays. I'm looking for a dreary love that's wandered far away. I close my eyes and try to live for today. I really think I love you.
I'm not finished.
Just want to preface this by saying that was not an open-ended question. Leave your answers in the comments below. But anyways, how's it going, everybody? It's your main man, the Source Kasuna here, and I'm bringing you guys a different kind of build today. Today's build is a support build. It's also a blacksmith, and it's also a scroll crafter. Now, this build has some really insane synergy, as you'll come to see. but we are rocking agility and dexterity so that we can craft knuckles and katanas, and because of the stat allocation we will have enough attack speed to reach max motion with enchanted barrier, as well as maximum cast speed. These are the registlets that we'll be rocking. Every single one that you see on the screen is an absolute requirement, so you cannot miss out on any of these. As for our food buffs, this is what we are going with. Again, every single food buff that you see here is an absolute requirement, especially the critical rate and the attack MP recovery, so that we can regen our MP with auto device as well as kunai and not be running out of MP too fast. We will be starting out every single fight with our advanced familia in use. However, if you are just playing as a pro raider, make sure to turn this off so that you don't use the MP. And another little disclaimer, make sure to use this time before the anniversary to be leveling up your proficiencies. You want at least 250 proficiency. However, the maximum right now is 283, so I will be going towards that in the time before the anniversary. You can actually farm Minty to get the materials to level up your proficiency currently. This will increase the difficulty of the items that you can grab, as well as increasing the actual success rate for all of the crafts. So it's very, very handy to have this at level, at level 283. All right, starting things off in our shot skills, we are going to be taking quick draw at level 10. This is a must for those fast runs where you're prorating. This will be regenerating your MP every time you spam kunai, and it has about a 30% chance to proc, so you'll be getting back most of your MP when you're spamming kunai. And then in our shot skills, in our magic skills, these are the only skills that you'll need. You'll need MP charge level 10, as well as rapid charge level 10 and enchanted barrier at level 10. Those are all a must as well. And then if we take it over to our sprite skills, we are going to want auto device at level 10. This is our pro rating tool for long runs. When you're spamming ad lib while you're moving around, you can actually use auto device. However, whenever they change the minstrel skills, I'm not sure if this will still work, but still take it because it's very useful. You don't have to do anything to prorate, pretty much just move around. And then you're also going to want enhance at level 10. This will increase, thank you for the subscription by the way, caught that on video, but at level 10, this will increase the damage of your party members based on the defense of the boss. And then stabilize will give your party members 25 crit rate, as well as boosting the magic stability by I believe 20%. And then resurrection, it speaks for itself. It just reduces the resurrection timer down to 0 for every party member that is within 16 meters. Now this does include people that are not in your party, so you can actually use this when you're farming or something, or just doing whatever, like in a raid or guild raid, to resurrect everyone in the area. It's a very, very nice skill to have. In our wizard skills, we are going to be taking cast mastery. The only skills that are required to be level 10 here are cast mastery, familia, mana crystal, crystal laser, stone barrier, advanced familia, and kitty's treasure, and shift. Everything else you can kind of just take at whatever level you want, but you are going to want to kind of burn some skill points in here so you can get your cast speed boost from cast mastery. In case you didn't know, the amount of skill points that you use in this skill tree will determine the amount of cast speed that you get from this skill. Just a little oversimplification. There's a lot more details about it that you can read on Corn Club. In our ninja skills, we are going to be taking ninjutsu level 1. You only need it at level 1 to craft scrolls, and you only need it at level 1 so that you can use kunai and cloning. And those are the only skills that you'll ever want to use. You don't really need wind release anymore because you can get 100% tumble with impact now, in case you didn't know that. So in the next reset, because I use all my resets, in the next reset maybe I will go ahead and take impact level 10. I can use this as a tank as well, but it's not that big of a deal to me, to be honest. And then in our support skills, we're going to be taking Bravura, basic stuff, as well as in our survival skills, we are going to be taking MP boost, preferably at level 10 if you have the skill points. And in our minstrel skills, we would just need fantasy song at level 10 and ad lib at level 10. In our blacksmithing skills, I took processed materials level 10 because this build is mostly going to be used to farm high difficulty bosses, basically to just clear my bag whenever I don't feel like, selling to an NPC or just discarding one by one. But these are all the skills that you will need for crafting. You don't need any of this or any of this. You basically just need this stuff. This stuff will increase the proficiency limit as well as increasing the item difficulty that you can craft. So you're gonna want all of these at level 10. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a brief explanation on how the blacksmithing system works. Very straightforward. So if I go back over to my stats, basically, for crafting your weapon, it depends on the stats that you have. Tech increases the success rate and the proficiency base, like an invisible stat, I guess. And basically, if you want to craft knuckles, agility is the only stat. I believe every 10 agility is 1 potential. And then if you want to craft katanas, it's agility and dexterity divided by 20. For crafting two-handed swords, it's strength divided by 10. For halberds, it is strength and agility divided by 20. For staffs, it is intelligence divided by 10. And for magic devices, it is intelligence and agility divided by 20. For bowguns, it is dexterity divided by 10. And for bows, it is dexterity and strength divided by 20. As well as for one-hand swords, it's also dexterity and strength divided by 20. So you have a lot of different stat allocations you can go with. Like if you would prefer to craft bowguns, you can kind of shift this build in a direction where you have more dexterity than agility. That way you can craft bowguns, and then the only thing that you're kind of like losing out on is crafting knuckle. You'll be able to craft bowguns as well as katanas. But with this version, I'm opting for knuckles and katanas. Those are the most profitable. So yeah, do with it what you will. For combos, we are going with enhance and kunai for our fast runs. This will give you a very, very speedy combo. For our longer runs, we are going with this 1 MP combo. It is auto device into stabilize save into enhance swift and kunai swift. And then our other combo for regenerating MP is reflex enchanted barrier maximizer, and this will give us 1700 MP back. Now equipment, you have a lot of choices for this, but these are like the primary ones that you want if you want to build this comfortably. A lot of this gear is actually gear that you can just obtain for free. Like you don't have to spend anything on a lot of this stuff. The crystals are like the main expense here, but as you can see, the magic device that we are using is the prism ring with death colon and rhinosaur. Now you want the drop version specifically because the drop version will give you this 100 critical rate. If you craft it, then you will not be getting that 100% critical rate. That is the difference between the craft and the drop version. You can farm this at Bubble Angel. And Death Colon, you can swap this for another crystal if you'd like, but this gives you 1000 attack speed at the cost of minus 2000 MP. And then Rhinosaur gives you 15% attack speed. There's also an upgrade crystal right now, but it's very expensive, so I'm just choosing not to upgrade it right now. It's not a big deal. You get that 15% attack speed as well as the HP. For our scroll, we are going to be rocking a Wind Ninjutsu scroll with kunai, and I would honestly prefer Wind Release and cloning instead of Fire Release, but I don't really use cloning like that. I personally use Shift for my iframe, but cloning is still useful because you can regen MP while also getting an invincibility frame. So it's a little bit clutch. For the armor, you have two options here. I will be showing both. You have the Halloween garb if you need the extra MP. It gives you cast speed 750. And then if you are rocking a dexterity version of the build, you have this armor. And then you also, like, if you aren't using Death Colon, this armor is like really, really good. And the crystal for both is going to be Demonic Quasar. For our additional, this is a free additional. They actually gave it out twice, and I believe that they give it out every single download celebration now. You get a download memorial badge, and it gives you 500 attack speed and 500 cast speed, as well as those valuable stats for leveling pets. For the crystals, you're gonna want Chocolate Ooze as well as Stellar Ooze. They basically do the same exact thing. Both give you 300 MP, but Stellar Ooze gives you 20 critical rate, which is very, very valuable because you need that critical rate. And then for our ring, ideally a full blossom charm stone would be better, but I use a one-sided day sakura. I mean, it's perfectly fine. This gives you 100 MP as well as 750 attack speed and 250 cast speed. You can also use the night sakura if you are lacking in cast speed. It doesn't make a huge difference. And for the crystal, you are going to be rocking Scream Shadow. This is the most expensive crystal for this build, but it does give you 300 MP, 20% critical rate, which is like 6 crit rate, and then 1000 cast speed, which is very, very nice. For avatars, you're pretty much just going to be trying to get as much attack speed as you can if you're copying my build. Also, attack MP recovery is really good. I went with, you know, appearance for my avatar stats because I wanted my character to look cool. As always, I can't play this game if my character doesn't look cool. Now, for the ninjutsu scroll crafting part of this build, I will be leaving a website in the description below for crafting ninjutsu scrolls. But as you can see, this website pretty much, you can spit in the skills that you want, and it will, like, let's say, for example, my DPS scrolls. I use Kunai, Demon Wind Shuriken, and cloning, and it will spit out every single formula in the game for that specific combination. And these can get pretty expensive to craft. However, they are very, very profitable, as you will see. This build is just all about profit, honestly. This build will turn you a really good profit, whether it be from crafting the actual items, like the weapons, or from it just being from crafting ninjutsu scrolls. Either way, both are very, very profitable. A good ninjutsu scroll can get you about 50 million spin out on its own. So definitely use this tool, and definitely it's worth the investment to get these scrolls and sell them. As you can see, I have quite a few ninjutsu scrolls on the consignment board for decent prices, as well as knuckles and the likes. So you're able to turn a really, really good profit by just crafting alone. So definitely get into that. It's a very, very small investment at the start with leveling the proficiency, as well as buying the weapons for crafting the scrolls, but it's very, very profitable. This can get you a lot of spinna. In just a day from crafting ninjutsu scrolls alone, I made all this spinna that you can hear. So it's pretty good. Anyways, hopefully you guys got some good information out of this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. I couldn't really figure out what to do for a support build because there's like no combat involved, but I really think that this build will profit someone a lot. If there's any criticisms or feedback that you guys have, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. And I do have a bunch of empty character slots that are completely reset. So if there's any builds that you guys are interested in me revisiting or showing off, let me know in the comments below and I might get to them. Be blessed.